Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another Timeless Tarot reading. I'm Rose, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. Before we begin, take a deep breath, quiet your mind for a moment, and allow the message meant for you to come through. This is a collective reading, so take only what resonates with your situation and gently leave the rest behind. Now, let's see what the cards want to reveal to you today, because I already feel that there is something here you were meant to hear. Something about you is different. And I don't mean that in the ordinary way. There is something about your energy that has stayed in someone's mind long after they thought they had moved on. They may have tried to ignore it. They may have tried to distance themselves. They may have even convinced themselves that what they felt for you was temporary, but the cards are telling a very different story. So if you were drawn to this reading, take a deep breath and allow yourself to settle into the message. Take what resonates and gently leave the rest behind. Because the first card I pulled is *6, the High Priestess, and the moment I saw her, I knew this reading was to be about something hidden, something that hasn't been spoken, something that has been felt much more deeply than it has been expressed. The High Priestess is the card of secrets, intuition, silence, and things happening beneath the surface. And that is exactly what I am seeing around you. There is someone who has not told you the full truth about how they feel. They may have shown you one thing, while feeling something completely different inside, and the reason may surprise you. The moment everything changed. The moon represents uncertainty, hidden emotions, fear, and things that remain unclear. This person may have questioned themselves repeatedly. Why am I thinking about them this much? Why do I care what they are doing? Why does their silence affect me? Why can't I simply move on? And every time they thought they had an answer, another emotion surfaced. They may have tried to suppress it, but emotions don't disappear simply because we refuse to acknowledge them. Sometimes they become stronger underneath the surface. And that's what I feel has happened here. They buried the feeling and accidentally made it grow. They think about you when you aren't there. The next card is *6 of Cups. This is such a beautiful card for memories and emotional nostalgia, and I feel that this person revisits moments involving you. They replay conversations. They remember your expressions. They remember the way you made them feel. There could be one particular moment that they think about repeatedly, something you probably don't even realize was important to them. Maybe you said something casually. Maybe you smiled at them. Maybe you looked at them at exactly the right moment. To you, it may have been nothing. To them, it became a memory. And sometimes they return to that memory when they miss you. That is why this connection hasn't simply faded away. Their mind keeps taking them backward. And every time they revisit the past, they discover that their feelings are still there. They are scared of losing you now. I am seeing *8 of Swords. And this card explains the silence. This person is trapped inside their own thoughts. They think too much. They analyze everything. They imagine every possible outcome before taking one step. They may want to reach out and then convince themselves not to. They may write something, then delete it. They may decide they're finally going to speak, then become nervous at the last moment. The problem isn't always that they don't know what they want. The problem is that they are afraid of what happens if they actually admit what they want. And I feel rejection is one of their biggest fears. They wonder, what if they don't feel the same? What if I embarrass myself? What if I've misunderstood everything? What if I lose whatever connection I still have with them? So instead of risking the answer, they remain silent. But here's the interesting thing about *8 of Swords. The prison is largely mental. Eventually, the person has to decide whether they will remain trapped or finally walk out. And I feel this person is approaching that moment. They aren't as calm as they look now. I have the Page of Cups, and this is where the energy becomes softer. Page of Cups is emotional vulnerability, a message, a confession, a sweet gesture, an unexpected expression of feelings. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the first move from this person is smaller than you expect. They may not immediately pour their entire heart out. They may test the waters, a casual message, a simple question, a reaction to something you post, a random reason to start talking again. But underneath that innocent-looking interaction could be something much deeper. They will be watching your response. They want to know, is it safe for me to come closer? And if you respond warmly, that may give them the courage to take another step. The feelings are deeper than they admit now. The *Knight of Cups appears. And this is one of the clearest romantic energies in tarot. The Knight of Cups is someone who wants to move toward what their heart desires. They may dream about romance. They may imagine expressing their feelings. They may imagine what it would be like to finally stop holding back, and I feel this person has been doing exactly that. They have imagined conversations with you. They have imagined being closer to you. They have imagined what a relationship could actually look like, not just fantasy, real life, the everyday moments, the conversations, the laughter, the comfort, the feeling of knowing there is someone waiting for them at the end of the day. And that is why this connection has become difficult for them to dismiss. They are no longer simply attracted to you. They are emotionally attached to the possibility of you. You made them want something they stopped believing in. Now comes * the star. And this card changes everything. The star represents hope, healing, renewal, faith in something beautiful after disappointment. This person may have been through emotional situations that made them cynical. They may have stopped believing that genuine connection was possible. They may have told themselves that love was complicated, that people always leave, that vulnerability only leads to pain. And then they met you. And somehow you reminded them that maybe they were wrong. You made them hopeful again. You made them imagine something better. And that's a powerful thing to awaken in someone. Because when a person begins associating you with hope, they don't forget you easily. They are comparing everyone to you now. I am seeing * Queen of Wands. This card represents confidence, magnetism, attraction, and undeniable presence. And I feel this describes the way they see you. There is something about your energy that stands out. You may not even realize how noticeable you are. You may walk into a room without trying to receive attention, but somehow attention finds you, and this person notices. They notice the way you carry yourself. They notice your confidence. They notice your independence. They notice the way other people respond to you. And there is something else here. They may compare other people to you. Someone else might be attractive. Someone else might be available. Someone else might seem perfect on paper. But emotionally, something doesn't click the same way, because you created a feeling they haven't been able to reproduce. And that has made moving on much harder. The big Jess secret, they want to come forward now. We have * Judgment. And this card is extremely important. Judgment represents awakening, realization, a moment when someone can no longer ignore the truth. And I feel this person is reaching that point. They have spent enough time thinking, enough time analyzing, enough time hiding. Something inside them is saying, * you need to do something. They may realize that if they remain silent for too long, they could lose their chance. And that fear of losing you may eventually become stronger than their fear of approaching you. That is when action begins. A new emotional beginning, and now the card I absolutely love seeing here, Ace of Cups. This is the opening of the heart, a new emotional beginning, a confession, a fresh chapter. A feeling that finally gets permission to exist openly. For some of you, this could mean a new relationship. For others, it could mean an existing connection finally becoming emotionally honest. And for some, it could simply be the moment when you finally understand what someone has been feeling all along. But the message is the same. * the emotional energy is no longer meant to stay hidden forever. Something wants to be expressed. Something wants to be acknowledged. Something wants to begin. But there is one thing you must remember. Don't chase this person. Don't force a confession. Don't spend every hour trying to decode their behavior. The cards are showing movement, but your role is not to control the movement. Your role is to remain grounded. If they want to come forward, let them. If they want to explain themselves, listen. If they want another chance, watch what they do. Because feelings are beautiful, but consistency is what makes feelings meaningful. You don't need someone who simply says they care. You deserve someone who shows it. The final card reveals why this connection the final energy is * 2 of Cups. And this card is about mutual emotional connection. Two people meeting each other from the heart, two energies recognizing something meaningful. And that is the strongest message I am receiving. This isn't just about someone secretly thinking about you. It's about the possibility of two people finally becoming honest about what exists between them. You may have wondered whether you were imagining the connection, whether you cared more, whether you were reading too much into certain moments. But this reading asks you to stop doubting your own worth. You don't have to convince anyone that you are lovable. You don't have to compete. You don't have to become someone else. The person who is meant to recognize your value will eventually recognize it. And this person has already noticed far more than they have admitted. So if they have been distant, don't automatically assume they stopped caring. If they have been quiet, don't automatically assume you meant nothing. If they have been watching from a distance, there may be more happening internally than you can see. The cards are showing a person caught between fear and desire, between silence and confession, between running away and finally turning around. And I feel that the energy is moving toward the second option. They are getting tired of hiding, tired of wondering, tired of pretending. And eventually something has to give. So stay open, stay grounded, keep living your life, keep becoming the strongest version of yourself. Because whether this person comes forward tomorrow, next week, or later than you expect, your life should never be placed on pause. You are the center of your own story. And if this person is truly meant to be part of your next chapter, they will have to meet you there, not in the past, not in confusion, not in silence, but in honesty. And when that moment comes, you may finally understand why they were never able to completely let you go. Because sometimes the person who runs the furthest is running because they know exactly how deeply they have fallen. And this time, the cards are saying they may finally stop running.